Alright, buckle up dudes, because this right here is the LVT A1 M24. And if you're looking at it thinking, what the shit am I staring at? Congratulations, you having the correct reaction. This thing looks like US Marine Corps tried to build a tank during a collective mental breakdown, and ended up producing a floating text write-off. It's a boat with tracks, wearing a chaffee turret like a fucking statement piece. This isn't a tank, this isn't a boat. This is what happens when engineer snaps in the middle of a meeting and refuses to admit he made a mistake. And yet the craziest part, this stupid amphibious bastard actually fought the real battles and won some of them. So let's talk about how United States took a swamp tractor, strapped on some armor, bottled a tank turret to the roof and still said,
"Yeah, boys, ship it to the Pacific."
every terrible idea has a birthplace. First this one, Florida. Some guy, a civilian, invents a swamp tractor. That's all. Just a funky little marshmobile to haul fruit across the mud. A peaceful invention. A wholesome invention. An invention absolutely not designed for storming beaches under machine gun fire. Then the Marine Corps shows up like a raccoon discovered new dumpster. They look at this nice, innocent fruit tractor and go, "Put armor on it!" And that's how LVT was born. Not from tactical foresight, not from genius, from pure, unfiltered Marine Corps energy. We need something that floats and let us commit violence slightly faster. So the Marines weaponized the tractor. How? By slapping some steel on. And I use term steel very loosely here. Armor, barely. This shit wasn't designed to stop bullets. It was designed to stop water from feeling too confident. Rifle rounds could go straight through the hull and ruin your entire Pacific vacation. Machine guns, they didn't just penetrate. They penetrated, took the family, and got the house in the divorce. RD? One shell and you're respawning with Jesus. But Marines didn't care. Marines never care. They were like, does it move? Does it float? Can we strap guns on it? Does it let us commit ungodly amount of war crimes on an island? Yeah, that's good enough. Here's where Marines go full crayon eating mode. Someone asks, hey, what if we give this thing a gun? Boom. Turns into LVT A line. A meaning armored or assault. Honestly, A could also stand for are you fucking serious? The assault variant looked like tank cosplays. Floating boxes of disappointment with turrets glued on top. An armor that basically didn't exist. But then we hit the gold mine of American engineering. Some genius, and I say genius in the same way you talked about your dog learning how to open the fridge, sees the spare M24 Chaffee turret, looks at LVT and says, "Put it on the boat." No planning, no testing, no math, just fuck it, weld it harder. And that's how we got this beautiful disaster. A floating shitbox mounted with a turret placed up so high it might as well have "shoot here" sign painted on it. This shit is so tall, Japanese soldiers just fired in the general direction and still hit something vulnerable. But Marines took one look at it and fell in love instantly. Why? Because Marines love anything that floats, make loud noises, and lets them violate Geneva Convention from offshore. This thing was basically floating invitation to commit war crimes, and Marines signed that shit like a gym membership contract. Now let's talk where this thing actually fought. Not in some safe training exercise, not in calm peaceful waters, no. We're talking Saipan, Tinian, Iwo fucking Jima. The beaches where your life expectancy could be measured in the same units as TikTok video. Imagine climbing into a tall metal coffin, waves smashing into you, bullets hitting from every direction, mortars turning ocean into a soup, you look over and see infantry getting shredded, Higgins boat sinking, madness everywhere, and then you, in this ridiculous amphibious war brig, just roll forward like, "Alright boys, let's go piss off some Japanese." The LVT A1 M24 looked unbelievably stupid, but in those moments, it was exactly what Marines needed. It floated, it brought 75mm howitzers straight into the fight, it fired over seawalls, it crushed sand, coral, debris, hopes, dreams, everything. It cleared the beach before infantry arrived. You could argue this thing saved thousands of lives by being just dangerous enough and just stupid enough to work. This wasn't designed to knock out tanks. This was designed to delete obstacles from face of the earth. This thing fired shells with emotional energy of the worst dad paying alimony and taking it out on the drywall. Shoot at the bunker, gone. Shoot at the trench, gone. Shoot at the hillside, motherfucker, the hillside is now a suggestion. In the Pacific War, this gun turned defensive position into renovation projects. And the more you learn about this thing, the more you realize it was held together by pure American stubbornness. Here's the shit it actually dealt with. Marines actually joked it was so tall it got shot before the battle actually started. Armor, it was designed just to stop water. Bullets didn't penetrate, they took a self-guided tour. Mechanics were one bad day away from a mutiny. Fixing this bastard was like trying to repair a lawnmower that also floats and hates you. And in War Thunder, holy shit, Gaijin actually nailed it. They made it big, slow, tall, visually offensive, armor made out of emotional instability, gun that slaps harder than Filipino grandma with slippers. Its survivability is realistic, none, zero, good luck. Its gunpowder also realistic, biblical, unnecessary, beautiful. So after all this, after all the stupidity, all the poor design choices, all the madness, what did the LVT A1 M24 actually accomplish? Everything! It kicked open beaches that would have taken thousands of casualties to crack. It gave Marines the firepower they needed at the moment they needed the most. It scared the shit out of the enemy because no one expects a fucking boat with a tank turret to roll onto the sand and start blasting. It should not have worked. It had no right to work, but sometimes the dumbest ideas are the brightest ideas. And today it lives on as some funniest, dumbest, most legendary vehicle you can actually drive in War Thunder.